we're going to start off introducing ourselves. I'm Tony.
And I'm Chantel.
And we're the Tonyandtelshow Show. And we want to welcome you to our show and thank you so much for doing this with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, no problem.
Okay, first I want to start off with asking, was being a singer something you always wanted to do?
I actually was a dancer first. I've always wanted to be famous. So I would say, yeah. I mean, dancing, singing, it all kind of goes together. But, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so now, everybody has found out about the situation, with TLC. So basically, you were the one who got the group together, right?
It was actually my idea, along with my manager at the time. His name is Burke. He was already managing me, and we were, trying to come up with an idea, a concept, something that was different. And I literally was on my bedroom floor watching maybe some type of hip-hop rap or something back in the 80s, and Belle Biv DeVoe, Poison came on. And I was just sitting there watching it, and then that's when it clicked, a female BBD. And then I called in, and I was like, I got it, let's do this. And he was, like, right on point. He had the same idea, and we just kind of put it together and set out to find, a dancer, a singer, and a rapper. And that would have, gelled together. So that's where the whole concept came from.
Okay, so how did you meet T-Boz and Left Eye?
Well, again, we were looking for members of the group. They were actually the last members of the group because the other girls just didn't fit the mold that we were looking for. So Rico Wade of Organized Noise Productions, he was good friends with Burke, and he kind of let him know about an audition that was going on. So N and I went to the audition, and that's where we met Lisa. And at first, N didn't kind of like her look because her look didn't match, her vocal ability, and the words was coming out of her mouth just didn't match the way she looked. But I was like, no, and she's fly. We need her. So that's how we got Lisa. And the thing was, Tion was supposed to have been to the same audition, but she didn't go because she was at home babysitting her brother Coco. And she also had a bit of cold, too. So when we met her the same night, we went over to her house like about 12, 1, 2 in the morning. And Rico introduced us all. We told her what we were doing, how she could get the mode or whatever, and she sang a little bit, had that raspy kind of voice.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, looking at some pictures she had in her den or living room, and I was like, oh yeah, we need her. We need her. So that's how the TLC kind of second nature got together.
Okay. Yeah. So then, you guys went out for the audition with Pebbles and L.A. Reid. The movie shows, the TLC movie shows that you didn't deliver, so to speak, like the other ladies did. What was the real situation with that?
We never auditioned for L.A. Reid. Basically, they had to kind of mush it all together for time's sake. But the moment that they're talking about was when we were at Pebbles and LA's house in their basement. We had just finished putting on this little funky fashion show with this hideous outfits that Pebbles had bought us. And at the time, no, I'm so serious. And at the time, we were like, changing our clothes. And then Tion was like, well, they want to hear us sing. They want to see, hear you sing or whatever. So we went one by one into this little studio. Lisa had already did her rap cover, and Tion had already did her rap cover. And I came in and I did my vocals. And granted, I can sing. So it was never an issue. And prior to that, when we first met Pebbles, she liked the concept. She liked the idea. And the way that they depict me in the movie is if I'm non-talented, can't sing, and that's so totally the opposite. But my thing is, if I'm so untalented, then why would Burke manage me? Why am I setting out for failure if I'm that awful?
Right.
But they had to put in that moment, kind of give everybody a reason why I didn't continue on when that was not true. So
yeah.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah. Going through what you're going through, would you have preferred a solo career instead of going for a group?
You mean afterwards or during that time?
A little bit of both.
Well, I mean, the group kind of came about from an idea that Ian and I came up with, and it was supposed to be like a whole movement. And
okay.
I mean, after that, I did try to pursue a solo, but it just, nothing ever, it's like, how can you make a better cake from the one you just made? In the what else can I do? I couldn't put another girls group together. So I tried, and I did a little writing, and songs got taken from me and produced and published, and I got nothing from it. So the whole industry, after all of that, I just kind of took a back burner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And plus, a lot of people don't realize, I'm not to cut you off, but a lot of people don't realize we were very young. We were 19 and 18. And I had a baby, so my mindset was like all over the place. So then, you know, with the girls, that was my life. That was what I wanted, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was like, you know, when it's your ideal and it's your baby, and you know, to see, like that's what, like you said, that's what you were striving for, and that you wanted to, like, you know, have something groundbreaking, and you know. So I understand what, and like you say, y'all was young, and then in the music
you don't know how
you
to
didn't know
stuff like that. You know, you're young.
Yeah. And so you didn't know the good and the bad in the music industry, and I say that's what a lot of us we see the product, but we don't see the behind the scenes that really happen with a lot of young artists' careers in that business.
Exactly, and it's treacherous out there, and you really have to know your business. And I was blessed at the time to have already toured. I was already in the industry before TLC. That was just something I ventured off and wanted to do, you know. So I kind of knew about the contract where everybody's talking about how I didn't sign it. You know, I knew about what was going on with that. That's the business side of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so was that really the reason that you weren't in the final lineup for TLC?
I honestly don't know. I can just tell you the things that happened. I can just tell you the things that were said. And I mean, Pebble, she's a very creative person. She has her ways of making things, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, benefit her.
Okay. That's just her.
She's a big influence. So she had a lot to do with what happened. And I think her and I may have bumped heads a little bit because I did question her a lot. And I don't think she liked that. You know, like I would question her about receipts when we're out eating, or the clothes. Why are you buying us clothes? Where are the receipts for that? Why you want to change her name? Why you want to manage us? We already manage. I always kind of challenge
things that you should be asking.
So, you know.
Yeah. And then what people don't understand, you probably wasn't doing it to be malicious. It's just like you said, you didn't know, you was young, and you just wanted to know, like, you know, what was going on.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize me, Tion, and Lisa were under a management contract with Ian Burke at the time. He was our manager. Pebble was doing stuff behind his back, you know, trying to get us on her side, you know, taking us out to eat. I mean, just all the fabulous things. Her chef cooking for us, all those great things. And you're like, oh, yeah, Pebble's is the bomb. You know, we're going to sign with her.
Exactly. She was just buttering y'all up.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, after TLC got famous, you know, they, you know, went and became one of the biggest groups. Did they ever bother you, you know, seeing that you were the person who kind of wanted to bring it together, and then they throw you out, or not throw you out, but you weren't in the original, the final lineup, and now they're one of the biggest selling girl groups?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
I said, did it ever bother you?
Oh, did it ever bother me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm 40 years old now, but but back when I was 19 and 20, yes.
Yeah.
It devastated me. I mean, you have to put your mindset where I was in
exactly.
In what I was going through in my life. I was homeless. and I'm watching them on TV. And I'm
Exactly.
in this little shacked up motel with all these crackheads around me because I have no place to stay, and I'm seeing these girls on TV, and I'm like,
"What's your dream?
Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was devastated for many years, decades. It traumatized me because I don't. It's like, how can you do better from that?
Exactly.
So seeing that, even though they were TLC was a big group, they went through bankruptcies and money being taken from them, and all this kind of stuff. Seeing all of that, would you still have wanted to go in the group if you were given the chance?
I don't know, because I know the business side of it, and if you're not smart enough to know when to negotiate and when to hold off and when to put business first,
right?
Yeah.
That kind of was an issue with us, because I was kind of more business and they were more, oh my God,
Yeah, right.
So I mean, I don't know. I really don't know about that one. I mean, knowing what I know now, no. Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you have like some fun stories about T-Boz and Lisa back then?
I have some stories, but I know the one with Lisa I don't want to share too much.
Okay, you don't
because
have.
it's more of something that we kind of shared together.
Yeah, right. I understand.
So not a whole lot. We met October of 90, and by February, March of 91, that's when it happened. That's when they were like, bye-bye.
Yeah.
So that's how long we were, in cahoots with each other. It wasn't very long, but it was long enough. But
exactly. Did you ever see them afterwards? Like, I mean, you don't have to share like the conversation, but did you ever see them like after the?
Yeah, I saw them once at an audition that I went to. I didn't know who, everybody was about to audition for, and it was at Rehearse Too Much Warehouse. So I was going to audition with some friends, and we heard about this group. It's this hot group out, and they need dancers and whatnot for a video. So I go to the audition, and I'm standing in line with everybody else, and all of a sudden it's a large commotion coming down the hallway, and you got security and all these people, and all of a sudden I see Lisa and Tion.
Okay.
And I'm like, for real? And they were like, you auditioning? I'm like, no. And so they asked me to come in the room, and they were like, you want to audition? No, I'm good. And I left, and I was like, I literally went to my car and cried.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so sad.
And I would see, like, I remember one time I was out looking for a job, and I was at a bus stop, and I saw them driving by in Pebbles Range Rover, blasting TLC, just driving down the street, and I just saw them, and I was just like, oh, my.
Okay.
I laugh now, but back then, ooh.
But it was raw back then now, so I understand. Like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you could go back in time, would you change anything?
No. Mm-mm.
No. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
the only thing that I would change is I would have spoken up a little bit more at a specific time when we were going through the contract, because I didn't say anything, and I kind of assumed that they would follow lead, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So that would have been a moment that I think I would have changed and just said something,
Yeah.
Okay, so are you still singing now?
I mean, singing is in me. It's, I'm not working on any projects, so I mean, I write for people from time to time and help people out, but that's not really something I'm trying to pursue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going through all you went through, I'm pretty sure it was a learning experience. Well, what kept you grounded? Because I know you've been through a lot. You say you was homeless and, you watch them on TV and stuff like that. But what is a model you live by, and what kept you grounded up until now?
Just God. You know, just going through things in life, and when you get to a point that you have nobody else to depend on but Him, and just going through that experience and being able to look back on so much and just kind of look at it in a more spiritual sense that He had His hands on me the entire time. Because had I signed that contract, knowing how vulnerable I was, and you gullible. You want to be famous. You want to be a star. There's no telling where I would have been. Or, so for whatever reason, I don't know. I don't question Him. He did what He was doing.
Yeah. Well, even though you didn't make it in the group, I can tell that you're a very positive person and a good person. I can tell.
I appreciate that. I do have my moments though.
Yeah, and I can tell a story, and you do. Would you ever think about like writing a book or like telling your life story and stuff?
I actually just finished my book.
Oh wow! Oh yes, okay.
Yeah, I actually just finished it, and now I'm working on the script. Hopefully, may do something straight to DVD. I don't know yet, but it's kind of been a little chitter chatter about it. But yes, I just finished the book. I'm actually waiting to proof it one more time so I can just hit that send button on Amazon. So it should be available in about a week.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be great. So just let us know. Just like send me an email. Let us know. When it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because I do want to read it.
Yeah, we can promote it and stuff like that and stuff. Yeah.
So
what advice would you? What advice would you give a young artist want to get into the music business?
Ooh, you need to be brutally honest with yourself, because I live by a star is born, not created. You cannot make something that's not there. Some people have potential, and I know a lot of people want to get into the industry, but it ain't for everybody. But there are other avenues that you can take on if you want to be in the entertainment industry, but you have got to learn the business side of it. Please do.
Yeah.
And don't be so eager to jump on the first thing, the first contract that you see. Negotiate. Be smart about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And last thing I want to ask, what are some misconceptions people may have about you that are that's not true? I know you don't said a couple, but most of them was like, you can't sing, but.
well, that doesn't really bother me, but the one that I do want to clear up is that a lot of people want to know, why am I now just talking? Why am I now speaking out about all of this?
Yeah.
I never talked about this for 20-something years. They came from me. All came from me. Everybody sent me the emails. They sent me the copy of the movie. Y'all sent the radio station to my job. So I had no choice but to open my mouth. And everything I said is going to come from my heart in a good place, because I'm not going to bash nobody. I'm not going to get nothing out of that.
It's right. Even if they deserve it, but. I could tell, because it's been 20 years and we don't watch. Like, I always knew about you because I used to see the old pictures like when I was younger, and I was like, but as a child, I was young. I didn't understand. I was like, okay, that's TLC, okay. What happened to the other girl? I always thought you was like T-Boz sister or somebody, but you never really said anything. And, other people probably would have been on Oprah, Donahue, Dr. Phil, anybody.
Okay.
But, that's them the ones be so blessed, though. So,
right.
What's in your heart more, the dancing or the singing?
Huh?
What was in your heart more, the dancing or the singing? Like, what you...
Both, really. I had started singing only because I had just had my daughter, so my back was like bothering me really bad, so I couldn't really dance like I used to. So my fiance at the time was a headliner from Arrested Development, and he encouraged me to just start singing. And we would sing around the house and everything, and he was like, you got a good voice. And my mom was a classical trained pianist, so I grew up around music, so that's all I ever knew.
Yeah.
But I just never, thought about it, but,
Okay. Well, that's all we have for you today. We want to thank you so very much for taking out of your time to do this with us. And we can't wait for this book to come out because I want to read it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you would like to say or clear up, before we go? Or give some shout outs, to management or something?
I just want everybody just to be blessed.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much again for joining us with us.
You are so welcome.
Oh, you have a blessed day.
Same to you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.